What's going on, everybody? This is Azriel, the one signing on. Sorry it's been a minute, getting my grizzly on a little bit because it's Brick City out here. It's, well, as you can see, 9 degrees out here this morning. Excuse me. So, of course, my few admin notes. I got 2 for y'all, obviously, before every video. You know I gotta thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for your likes, your subs, your comments, and your shares. We're at 253. We're still trying to make it to 300. There's a couple of days left, so keep doing what you do. I'm gonna do what I do. Secondly, I want to put out the fact that I'm just gonna scrap the idea of doing segments, and we're just gonna churn the videos out as they are. So that is. Now I want to jump into something real quick because I keep hearing this fucking shit, and it's beginning to irritate my goddamn nerves. White people do it too. White women do it too. This is fucking sad. Because you'll say, white women wear weaves too. White women are ratchet too. White women do fucking degrading shit too. So by that logic, if a white woman decides she wants to hang herself by her fucking clitoris, her nipples, you're gonna do it too simply because she can do it. Yeah, that makes total fucking sense. Congratulations, you just proved how much of a fucking follower you really are instead of an individual. And the funny thing is, and the irony is that you proclaim yourself to be kings and fucking queens, yet for some reason you fail to realize that a king and queen follows no one. They lead from the front. They don't lead from the middle, they don't lead from the rear, which unfortunately for most of you dusty-headed motherfuckers, that's exactly what the hell you're doing. Now, let's address the simple fact, for example, though, why this is a weak argument. Other than the fact that this whole argument of white people do it too, which has no basis on what your black ass does because you're black and they're white. And by the way, white folk, if you're watching this is not a knock on you in any way. The simple fact is that it shows you have the incapability of thinking for yourself. Which is the scarier part, because that means anybody can come along, tell you something, and you'll just do it. Strange, isn't it? Now, where does this all come in with fixing problems in the black community? You see, it's usually there's a certain demographic in black YouTube that makes this weak ass fucking argument saying, well, white people do it too. Or, well, there are more white people on welfare than there are black people. So, again, you're not, what it says is, you lack accountability for your own fucking actions. And you have the audacity to bring me that argument as if it's going to move me or persuade me to believe the drivel that flows out of your mouth that smells like a human fucking privy. I don't understand this. I really wish I could understand it. No, I'm lying. I don't want to understand it because this is the problem that we have. All too often in our community, especially here in black YouTube, we have idiots that are running around with this fool notion, this foolish logic. And then they swear what they're saying is logical. It's not logical. It's idiocy. It's fallacy. It's weakness. And furthermore, it just demonstrates your incapability to conduct yourself rationally. Now, for example, when we talk about the weaves, let's draw a distinct parallel. If a white woman gets a weave, you could never tell it was not her hair. You could never tell that because it looks like hers. Black women, when you get weaves, we know it's a weave because first and foremost, you are depicted that way in the media. Secondly, we all know, and more importantly, that black hair is grown rather coarse. So it's strange to me how you can make that argument. But again, that's neither here nor there. This is not about weaves in this particular video. This is just to demonstrate on one point the fallacy of the white women or the white person does it too argument. Notice that in everything that black people do, when there is a shortcoming, that's your escape button. Like if I could press the button that says that was easy, that's exactly how easy it is for you to make that excuse when it comes down to making a decision between accepting your responsibility for your fuck up or blaming somebody else. Which is really what it is, because that's what you do, black folk. When something goes wrong, you are quick to pass the fucking buck. And in 2014, it's already not even a month in, and we can already see that this is the type of logic that you're employing, and it is no wonder that within 25 to 50 years, we will go extinct. I said it, we'll go extinct. Because the so-called progressive movement, this progressive element, is nothing more than an element that wants to maintain the fucking status quo. And for all points and all purposes considered, that status quo is the same reason why we are in the predicament we're in 40 years after civil rights. I challenge you lames to go read the Moynihan Report. I challenge you lames to go look up Black Wall Street. I challenge you lames to look at real black history. And notice that the blacks of the 1930s through the 1960s never made the excuse of white people do it too. Either they did it or they didn't. But you know what? You're going to tell me that that's nice and all, and go fuck myself. That's what you'll do because you don't want to face the truth. See, I'm putting the truth before you for you to understand that this fucking fallacy of an argument that you're making just shows your ignorance. It shows that you can't think, you can't rationalize. Now, one thing you could say that white people do too is they breastfeed their children. But then again, other black folks in other countries breastfeed their infants too. And we can see the results because those black folk are usually far more intelligent. Here in America, we use the white people do it too to be a scapegoat. Now, if you want to say white people do it too, let's say some shit that white people do too that we should do. Invest money. Put money in getting our kids to private schools. How about going to college? But you won't say that. You'll say white people do it too as your excuse for doing ratchet shit, but you won't say that and then emulate the white person because that was worse and that's what's getting them ahead in life. Now, this is not me trying to say, hey, I'm all for the white man, I'm against my own people. No, that's not it. I'm just saying, if you're going to use the white person, the white man or the white woman does that too, use that shit for something that makes sense. Notice, black people, when you go in your communities, why you don't own a motherfucking thing but the white man does. Because he knows to value what you have and you don't value your own shit. Notice that a white woman goes out and takes care of her kids. For the most part, she does a pretty good job of it. On average, compared against the same ghetto gagger hood rat, she does an excellent job raising her kids, and well, you don't. If you look at the fact that white folks are going to school and they're going to prestigious universities, it's because they have sense to make their money work for them. And well, black people, as always, we are trivialized and marginalized by our own people and the fact that we own nothing. Oh, and by the way, we're like fucking little chimps in the zoo. We throw a bright, shiny object, we're all over it. Shame, isn't it? Stop using that fucking excuse for everything that you do wrong. Because all it does is make you look stupid. Really, I can't stress this enough. When we talk about, even speaking of which, I want to bring, I know I said the word ghetto gagger. I'm going to get on this point for a minute. It's funny how black folk talk about people exploiting black women on YouTube, making money off of black women, and yet you have a website and where a black woman is totally reduced to being lower than an animal. And none of you fucking dickheads, you porch monkey, you fucking jungle bunny, tar baby, blue gum, idiot motherfuckers will sit yourselves down and look at what the fuck they're doing to your women. Which, by the way, most of you sad sacks of shit will sit there watching that shit happily. You know, and then get online the next 20 minutes and say, oh my God, they're exploiting the black community. They're exploiting our women. They're treating our women, they're queens, and they're not treating them right. Go sit your punk ass down. Because let's be realistic. If you wanted to talk about the whole exploitation of black women, you don't have to go to the porn industry. You can look on your TV set on BET, where BET exploits black people every day of the goddamn week. And you sad sacks of shit, just let it go. Then, when you see on that same channel or other channels, white people do something ratchet, you use that as an excuse. Another example. Bill Cunningham, Maury Povich. White folks go up there acting ratchet, yo dumbass follow behind suit. Because you feel you got to be equal to a white man. And the fact that you feel that you need to be equal to a white man already shows your fucking inferiority complex. You are a human fucking being, regardless of the fucking pigmentation you got. So the fact that you feel you need to be equal shows that already from the jump you weren't. Because any man who knows he's equal does not have to prove that he's equal, because he knows that for a fact. And so you guys use this fucking excuse, and you use it negatively to justify being equal, but for the wrong reasons. If that makes any sense to you, I hope it did. If it didn't, let me rephrase it this way. You idiots will take this excuse of white people do it too. You will turn around, do dumb shit, and then expect a pat on your ass. When that only justifies that not only are you regressing behaviorally to the basic primal animal instincts, but that energy that you clearly see is self-destructive, you're going to do it anyway. Excuse me. Finally, and I want to return to the Maury Povich and Bill Cunningham portion of this discussion. It's funny how when we say white people do it too, notice that these white folk come up here on those talk shows and they act ratchet and they act ghetto. And notice, they're never the ones that are remembered. So guess what? If white people do it, we can do it too. But guess who the fuck ends up on highlight reels? Guess who the fuck gets talked about? Guess who the fuck gets pulled up on guest updates on the Maury Povich show? Your black ass. Guess who gets clowned? Your women. Guess who gets called a hoe? Your women. Guess who gets called deadbeat dads? Your men. But you guys are too fucking stupid to notice. Shame. Now, instead of saying for all the dumb reasons of white people do it too, look at the positive things that everybody does, not just white folk, and say, well, if they do it, we can do it too. Then do it. But you know what's gonna happen? You lames are gonna sit there, you're gonna continue your bitch, continue to moan, and I'm just gonna sit back and laugh at you. It is what it is. So, I hope you enjoyed this. I will be back for more today, because, you know, of course, it is my thing. And that is, I'm whooping ass, thank God Almighty. Azrael the One is whooping ass.